Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the daily political tarot and astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. It is the best day of the week. It is Sarah Wednesday.
Hello.
Yay! And but I am here literally every single day of the year, and I have been for 4 years. So just put your questions in the chat before I come on. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That is an ongoing thing. We have got epic troll slayers who have kept us safe for years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have got a fantastic community here because of you. You've been so kind to each other. You've been so kind to us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. I timestamp them as I go, so you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on like 1.25 speed, which I do a lot on YouTube. Thank you for noticing all of this. I saw what Sarah was wearing, and I said, "All right, I'm going to find a yellow background for us." So that's how this started. What was I going to say? Gosh, there's so much. I pulled up charts for Trump and Biden for election day this year, both transits and progressions. But I just ran out of time to put them together. So I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, if not Friday, hopefully tomorrow. I'll be able to show you some things there, and we'll compare and contrast. And that might make you feel a little bit better, especially considering the kind of troubles we're having at the moment. Ricky says, and the star of the show, soon to become?
Yes.
And the star of the show, soon to become a classic universal monster character, the Frankenstein monster himself. No, not my.
But the monster was the sweetest of all. It wasn't his fault. He was the only redeemable character in the whole thing.
But he's the boo-boo.
He is the boo-boo. Yes. We will snuggles him.
Say again?
I said we will snuggles him. And thank you, reversed images. That's very sweet.
The blanket is breathing.
Mm.
And ear twitching.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's looks like a tire tread across his back as he's all curled up there.
Right.
Also, Flora's doing very well.
Very cool.
So, all right. Flora's happy. Okay.
I've refreshed. Have you saved recently?
No. No. Let me fix that. Okay. So anyway, I will be able to. I'm refreshing now. I will be able to bring you charts tomorrow at the end or toward the end of today, talking with Miss Sarah. She has a timeline we're going to go over of something that's going on in the world that is just has a lot of people talking, but that's at the end, because between here and there, oh boy, we have some frustrating legal stuff. We also just have some leftover ick. We have, yeah. When I was growing up, my mother, she called leftovers revotafels, which is leftovers spelled backwards. Although it isn't. Awesome. It's the reversed like syllables.
Mm.
But in my family, you were talking about revotafels. That meant leftovers. And we have some revotafels revulsion from yesterday.
Yeah.
What? Anyway. Okay. And I feel like I should use, I just feel like I should use the Housewives Tarot, because women need some equality, please. Thank you, Kay. Kay, thanks. So,
alrighty. Well, starting off at 5:25. Mary Trump has revealed the disturbing origin of her uncle's pet name of Honeybunch for Stormy Daniels. It's a family pet name, which Mary Trump makes the story even more credible. How is Trump handling the revelations?
I'm saging you from across the country.
Yeah, could do.
Yeah. Just there.
Mm.
Oh, look. It could be on the Flintstones.
There you go. There you go. Cutest little Wilma ever.
Oh, boy. Yes. Mickey says sage with computers, too. All right. I'm saging.
I don't think there's enough sage for that.
I know, but I'm saging your computer. Everyone out there, if you're watching, I'm saging your computer, too. And there are little bits of sage falling out all over everything. So, yeah. Okay, so so Mary Trump reveals disturbing origin of Uncle's pet name. It's a family pet name, which Mary Trump makes. To Mary Trump, boy, I wrote that wrong. Which to Mary Trump makes the story even more credible. How is Trump handling revelations? Which is pretty much what you just said. I'm just trying to catch up. Sage is helping.
Good.
For anybody who's not aware, yesterday during Stormy Daniels' time on the witness stand, Judge Mershon complained strongly to Dumpy's lawyer because Dumpy was swearing audibly.
It's not a good look there, Spiff.
Let's just say he didn't abbreviate it BS.
Oh. Did he at least do the cute thing where, you try to cough like you have an allergic reaction to the stuff? Or was he just flat out?
He was shaking his head. He was swearing out loud enough for the judge to hear. So it was loud enough for the jury to hear. Okay, that's way too hot. Do not drink that. Do not drink
Ladies and gentlemen, this is proof that money cannot buy class.
No, it can't. And speaking of which, there was at his big fundraiser recently, Gargoyle was there, and she introduced him, saying he's the greatest president ever, and he's always won, and on and on and on. And oh my goodness, if you ever think you're having a bad day, like, oh, my face looks puffy or my hair's not laying right, I don't look good today, honey, you look marvelous. Trust me. So Trump is not handling this well. Unhinged. For all this talk of him rallying his base, or them sending the cards here, every card here is minor arcana. This is not helping him. It's just not. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. Both sides, when it comes to the election, they're pretty much decided. There aren't that many undecided people. 3 of Wands. This can be the card of waiting for my ship to come in, but this is also just knowing what's coming. I was waiting for this, that kind of thing. 5 of Pentacles. Out in the cold's not good, and his lies. So Trump is, to this day, swearing up and down, often literally, that he did not have actual relations with that star.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
He's still saying that. And as I said yesterday, evangelicals, yeah, come get your boy.
Mm-hmm.
This is your candidate.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So yeah, it's just small, petty, angry. He's impossible to be around.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting.
Somehow I am not surprised by those revelations. Oh, goodness. Alrighty. Going into the next one at 11 minutes even, how is the jury as a whole reacting to the Stormy Daniels testimony?
Jury. Everyone who goes in comes out saying they are very attentive. Very. Even when other people, like people in the courtroom, are bored with minutia, apparently not the jury. Apparently they are.
That's good, though. That's what they're there for.
Yeah. It's definitely good. But honestly, I think Trump isn't doing himself any favors.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Just...
I know. It's a shocker. Knight of Pentacles, these are Trump's lawyers. And there they are in their suits trying to mow a rug. It's just with a big smile on their face.
Yeah.
I enjoy mowing rugs in my suit. Yeah, this is his lawyers.
Just like 12:30. That's what the timestamp for that. So. Just gonna message that to you now.
Oh, 30. No. Oh, thank you. That's my best friend looking out for me. She knows I'm going to go through the whole thing 5 seconds by 5 seconds looking for a good image. It takes a long time to do the cover, believe it or not.
Yes.
Oh, Becca from House of Lenormand is here. Hello. Yes. Oh, we'll get to RFK Jr. Oh, it's in the description box. Seriously, everybody have a look in the description box, because who have we got the stuff? So how is the jury seeing this? Well, this is the Sword of Truth. This is the King of Swords, so that would be more the judge. Here's the Ten of Swords, which is, my guess is, it's not looking good. This Sword of Truth with the King of Swords, that would be an honest judge, but boy, is he doling out some punishment. This is good. Here's Hermit. So there is stuff that we know about that they don't, because they haven't been in the room when Trump has been held in contempt. So unless somebody told them, they don't know that.
Oh.
There's some stuff where they're isolated. But here I've got the King of Cups. And the King of Cups, this could be like right underneath this one for Trump's lawyers. I've got the Knight of Cups, which would be the prosecution. Right. But this King of Cups, it could be like Bragg doing well, but this could also just be someone being an emotional drunkard. Overall, it feels like they like Mershon.
Okay.
And or they think he's fair. They think he's reasonable.
He's running a tight ship. It's everything is from their perspective, it's going how it's supposed to go.
Right.
Because they're not seeing. Yeah.
Oh, but they're seeing some. They're seeing some of the crazy.
Oh,
The jury, they're doing pretty well. They're hanging together. I mean, they're not really supposed to talk about things ahead of time, but it just feels like they're in a good place. Okay. I don't have a devil card for them, so this is good. Temperance, working hard. With the evidence, lining things up, listening to people coming and going. 5 of Cups, disappointment. It is disappointing to sit there and hear about the grossness. It's like, really? You were president? You have all of these advantages, and you're messing around, and then you were keeping secrets, and secrets like that can be used as blackmail.
Yep.
5 of Wands, stirring the pot. He's always everything. He keeps the whole place, he's always stirring the pot. High Priestess, all the secrets coming out. It's gross. That's what I've got. And look, I am well aware there are some people who are convinced there's going to be like Joe Scarborough, convinced there's going to be a hung jury. Convinced. And there are
yeah, you and I were talking about that earlier. And like I was saying before, Scarborough is just a Pierce Morgan on the other side. I mean, really. He thinks anybody who doesn't agree with him is an idiot. He's more judgmental and everything's black and white than not. And he can't disagree with someone without insulting them. And not always well.
Yes. The best, one of the funniest, because it was the most accurate depictions on SNL. Actually, very 10-second aside. Not comparing it to my favorite one of all, which is Matt Damon, is Kavanaugh.
Yeah, that was
amazing. That was my favorite. Judge Kavanaugh. What? Anyway. But they did a send up of the whole Morning Joe thing. And it was back when Joe and Mika were dating and flirting and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
they were canoodling. Yeah. But that's not the part. It was the part where they had the guy playing Joe Scarborough was like, okay, and welcome this person from wherever, and who's, because this is what's going on and this and that, and then this has happened, and how, because of this, and the person he introduces, like, and he goes, and Scarborough goes all the way through, blah, 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 and is like, and we're out of time for this segment. Thank you for being here, this person, and the person sitting there is just like,
yep, he's got to be the loudest person in the room.
Never got a word in edgewise. I laughed so hard because it's true. He talks over guests so much.
Yes, and that's right to our next question. Joe Scarborough believes there's going to be a hung jury. Is he right?
For what it's worth, I can at least say that I'm not getting a feeling of corruption from the jury. Now, I'm not saying that
nothing exists. Yeah.
I'm not saying that's absolutely guaranteed that then they're going to convict him. I'm just saying right now it just feels like they're focused on their job, and there's no intent. I don't feel any intention of them. That's good.
CC Ryder, yes. Pierce Morgan is a racist, misogynist, propagandist. Joe is opinionated, but not that. That's true. But take away that part, the way they approach things is very similar. They view things from the opposite side. Whereas Pierce is racist, Joe is not, but how they're very staunch in their beliefs and will not listen to anybody who may, even if they agree with them, view things slightly different, and they come at it with that same energy. Just flipped. If that makes any sense. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. That's wonderful. I'm not getting. There's Three of Wands, so we'll be waiting when they go out to deliberate. King of Wands, there's Dumpy, the Hermit. And of course, he'll wait patiently and quietly as the jury deliberates, and he won't say or do anything that would compromise. Okay, I can't even keep a straight face. All right, Queen of Pentacles.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Two of Cups. Six of Pentacles. I don't have a hung jury. They see Trump as he's the businessman, and where he was putting the money, and it was up to him. He decided where money went. Then he had his trysts, and then the kid in the candy store became president. I mean, if I stretch it, that could be Michael Cohen. It's like, oh, Michael Cohen was messing around, but it doesn't feel like it. It just feels like the group of them. It feels like the group of them, other than Cohen, went to the White House because Hope Hicks was in there. It feels like it. Yeah, and now I'm getting the energy of, okay, move on. I'm like, all right, okay.
Okay, well, let's go. At 22:20, Kitty Holler says, go ahead.
Sorry, Kim says, I disagree with the both of you. On what, my friend? On what? But go ahead, please.
I think on Scarborough. At 22:20, Kitty Holler says, what are the odds that Michael Cohen says that they sent someone to threaten Stormy?
Oh, he could get himself into big trouble for that.
Mm-hmm.
See, if Michael Cohen goes up there and says that he had any knowledge, took any part in any way in having somebody go have a talk with Miss Daniels at her car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just to make sure everybody's on the same page. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He could very much end up going back to prison if he was any remotely part of that.
Mm-hmm. Susie says unless he's been given immunity, unless prosecution can give him immunity.
True. However, there's the plan. Go for the reading.
Mm-hmm.
Page of Swords. Mm-hmm. So not exactly well thought through,
right?
Reasoned actions. Three of Wands. Again, you guys threw this out there. It's coming back to you. Three of Swords. Legal ow. And here's the thing. Cohen might be mad enough that he says, I don't care, I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Full and Ace of Swords.
Cohen has a petty streak a mile wide. I recognize this because I do too. So
we recognize each other. I understand, but you are no Michael Cohen.
Oh, no, I know that. But I mean,
yeah.
As the kids would say, game recognizes game. So Patty recognizes Patty. Like, I get it.
Uh-huh. Now, will he be believed? And there's, that's a whole other issue. But yeah, if Cohen thinks that there's a chance Dumpy's going to walk from this, Oh, he will. He's like, send me back to prison. I'll take the cell right next to him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I've done that before. I know I can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted a clarification. 3 of Swords is right on top of the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch. 10 of Cups. 9 of Swords. Sleepless nights. Even Granny's coming for you. Four of Wands. Vacation, retirement, or I've been to the pen. Let's do it. Let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Cohen very much gives off the vibes like you see in movies where the teenager goes, like the teenage boy goes to pick up the girl, and like the uncle comes around and says, I've been to prison once. I'll wear orange again. You have her home. But that's very much the vibes. I already been there once. I mean, yeah. And I just want to say in chat, I personally, and I think I could speak for both of us, but it is totally okay if someone disagrees with anything that we say, or if you have a difference of opinion. That's what makes the world awesome, is that we all have them. So if I say something, I am totally cool with someone correcting me if they've got better info. I would rather be informed than walk around just spewing mess. So, but anytime no one is ever going to hurt my my feelings, as long as they're not a horse's patootie about it and go, hey, I'm really not feeling the same way. Have you considered blank? And I'm like, oh, cool. So yeah, no one ever has to apologize or think that I'm going to get mad for having a different opinion. So anyhow.
Well, yeah. Well, and also, I say often, correct me if I am wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I am not omniscient, and
Yes.
that's not how this works. Although, I have to say, I don't mind people disagreeing with me or sharing information with me that's going to be like, hey, actually, it's like this. I love that. However, I do laugh when every once in a while there's a comment, either in the chat or in the comments below, that what was it? There was the other day, Sarah. I don't think you know about this, because there was somebody in the chat who said, there are tarot cards that have the meanings on them.
Yo, I almost said wordy dirds.
I laughed
I
so
almost
hard.
said wordy dirds. Yes, there are. Thank you.
I laughed so hard because,
I mean,
I do make mistakes, and that was some shade.
wow. The shade, some shade. They just yeeted an eclipse at you. Just I tried anyway. Wow.
Yeah, I got a kick out of that one.
And see, my level of petty, this is the difference. You laugh that off like a normal, well-adjusted person probably should. Me, I would have been like, oh, wow, thank you. Let me know when you're going to read with those on your channel. That's what I would have said, because like, throw a cape on me, I'm super petty.
That's not petty, that's awesome. It's the most wonderful time of the week.
Okay, sorry, y'all. We got a little distracted there with the.
That was funny.
Okay.
That was funny. Okay.
All right.
Yes, Lewis. Slay.
Super petty. Yes. All right. And 2940. Whoo. Okay.
My cheeks hurt. That's good.
Dr. Hilshaney was replying. Oh, hang on. Lucky Girl says, I think they were letting someone who was new to tarot cards know about cards that have the definition on there for learning.
Oh, no.
Okay.
And I understand that. I figured that out eventually. But I just thought it was funny. I just thought that was funny. You know.
Oh goodness.
Um,
Well, and that, yeah, I wouldn't have been quite so then. But if had it not been that, I'd have been like,
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just when some people they insult me as if it with like when they throw some shade at me, I don't know why. I just find it hysterical. It's like wow. Anyway, all right, moving on. Sorry.
At 3040, Dr. Hilshaney says, I'm concerned that von Messenpants is going to suggest his acolytes to go wilding. Ooh. If he's put in confinement for any length of time. Are his followers still willing to street fight for him? I just have this bad mental image because I know what most of his followers look like. And I'm like, okay. Wow. Are his followers still willing to just brawl? Is this what we're doing?
Well, first of all, he thinks they are.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He tells them to go put their best suit on and go mow the carpet or mow the rug.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll do it with a smile on their faces as far as he's concerned.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he thinks. Queen of Wands. The reality is there are a lot of people around him supporting him, but I was drawn to use this deck today, and the look on her face.
Yes. I feel that. If there was ever a card that described me, that is me in perpetuity. Just it's like the GIF you see with the little lemur cat thing going. Why? Yeah. Sorry.
You're awesome. I think that's stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
And legally, there's a lot of evidence, and it's not going to go well. It's not going well for him.
Mm-hmm.
And Six of Cups, he lives in nostalgia. Do you remember how many years he went on about how many delegates he got in 2016?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, make it stop. So he's living that, but he's doing it during sleepless nights. Is anybody seeing? Am I missing any major arcana here? Am I missing any people that are just raring to? I must go out, and I'm just not seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know if any of you watch Tasting History shorts.
Mm.
Did you watch that one this morning that I sent to you?
Did you send it to me? Did the short answer be no? I don't think I
No,
have.
that's fine. That's fine. I was just wondering. That's fine. Found out, did anyone see Tasting History's short about pink lemonade?
Oh, that! Yes.
Tasting History is Valerie is it's a really good YouTube channel, and he just does great stuff out of history. He's done like the whole Titanic menu from all three classes. He's done stuff from ancient Rome. I just last night I watched a bunch of his from World War I and World War II.
So he's like historical food and how everything plays into things.
Yeah.
Very
and
cool.
Star Melody and Elizabeth Beast, I watch it every week. Yes. AJ saying Max Miller's awesome. Yes, that's his name. Bratu says, I love Tasting History. Holly in France agrees. Okay, so Bernadette says, what about pink lemonade? I love pink lemonade. Okay.
It's good now.
It's good now. I think the pink lemonade mix tends to be a bit bitter for my taste, but okay. So where we got pink lemonade,
Mm-hmm.
there are various stories because this card's going to come up again. There are various stories about how it came to be, but most of them involve the circus.
Yes.
And there was a person who was walking around with lemonade amongst the people watching the circus. Lemonade, lemonade, get your lemonade, what have you. Well, problem is, it ran out of good water. He sold his lemonade, and then he was running out of good water. So apparently, he went in the back, and there was one of the performers who had gotten all sweaty and gross, what have you, and was squeezing out their leotard into some water, which was the closest he could get to clean, which isn't clean, but as close as he could get. Probably some of the dye had leaked. So, this is the reason, probably Barnum liked this guy, I'm guessing. It's like, oh, you're my kind of people, because he used the water, and he called out that it was
strawberry lemonade.
Strawberry lemonade. And his sales doubled. And that's how we got pink lemonade. These days, it's supposed to be strawberry and lemons. But
yeah.
So while traditionally the Six of Cups is the card of nostalgia, this is a kind of possibly dodgy. Yeah. So that was gross, but you have to understand it got to the point of, if you ever read The Jungle, the book, the novel that was talking about food safety.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We have a whole lot of laws in place now that we did not and that we needed. And this was before that.
Yeah.
We're talking 18, I think, what did he say? It was 1857 or somewhere around
think
there?
So, yeah.
It was so we have all kinds of laws in place that stop that from happening. And T10's saying, what? Another scam? I know, right? All right. So now that I've completely grossed you out, I'm sorry about that. But
no, you're good.
Marie says, I'm sorry I had to turn off the volume for a minute. I'm sorry.
All right. At 38:15, Rick asks, will Dumpy have an emotional outburst or temper tantrum in the courtroom or the current trial for all the jurors to witness? And if so, will it affect the verdict?
Well, he's already swearing audibly. So, to some extent, he's having a tantrum. When the judge has to tell your lawyer to get hold of your client, rein in your client. Five of Wands, rancor, chaos, stirring it all up. And I know there was recently some people were confused. And when I say rancor, I'm saying RANCOUR. Or no, RANCOR.
Yeah.
When you go to a British school and then you're married to an Englishman for 20 years.
You throw U's everywhere. You get a U. You're like Oprah with U's. You get a U. You get a U. And then everything is aluminium. And
okay, another side. My poor mother was, when we were overseas, she would watch a lot of television from the UK. Either watch local Dutch stuff, which she didn't speak language, or watch, right? So she's sitting there one day, she's knitting. She's waiting for me to, get through my school day. And on the TV, they start on this thing about the dangers and all of this and all the horrible things that can happen and on and on and on. And she's getting to the point where she's like, oh my gosh, what is this thing? We have to find out what this is, because this is going to destroy this is going to destroy my children. And this is going to, all this kind of damage this thing can be done. And then they showed the word on the screen and she realized they were talking about aluminum.
Aluminum, yeah.
And she's like, oh, aluminum. Okay. Scared my poor mother to death. Sorry. I'm full of this today. Anyway, rancor, stirring things up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's already in trouble. And he's doing everything he can. He is sitting there with his eyes closed. He says he's doing it to soak it all in. It's like, yeah, right. But also, maybe it helps a little bit to help keep him calm, because he's got to do something. Three of Wands is in the middle. You did this to yourself, but he'll never accept responsibility. 10 of Wands, burden. It's like a beach ball in the ocean where you push it down under the water and you can hold it down there, but when you let go, because it ends with the moon. So he's already acting out in a way that's going to get him in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm amazed he's actually gone a couple of days without screamingly violating his gag order. Although
he talks a lot of game. He says, "Oh, I'll go to jail." He don't want to go to jail. He talks a lot of smack, but no, not when it comes down to the
All right. Well, I'm sorry, very quickly. Will his outbursts hurt him in court? The people in the jury, they're like, we don't know each other, but we can just sit here. We have to sit here.
Right.
5 of Swords, adding insult to injury. They're saying all these horrible things about him over and over, and he can't yell back. He can't yell them down. He can't scream at them. He can't curse at them. It's driving. He is, and there are more of them, and they're women, and and McDougal hasn't even gone up there, and Cohen hasn't even gone up there, and they're sprinkling between the big people, the bigger, well-known people. They've got all these other people corroborating, and Page of Pentacles, and it's just counting sheep, doing whatever, and it's just building up and building up as the evidence is building up, as the person after person. Yeah, it's
quick sidebar. People were talking in chat when you were discussing when you were younger in the TV and whatnot, about PBS. I did see something that will appeal to a lot of you. PBS is coming up. I don't know the exact timeline for this. It could be soon. It could be a few months. They're setting up a new channel specifically for adults who were children in the late 60s, 70s, and early 80s. And it's full of the PBS shows that we grew up with. And it's meant for if you're, if you're anxious or whatever, you could just put it on in the background and just let it play. It's supposed to be calming or whatever, like, white noise. But it's Mr. Rogers and Reading Rainbow and the Bob Ross and all of, it's just the wholesome stuff from back in the day. Yes. Bernadette, the late early Gen X through Zennials is really where this is sort of, yeah. So geared towards, but that's that.
Aw.
Yes, I can't wait for this because it's just going to be on. It's going to be, it's going to be on and in the background, and I will be, because you can't be sad when Mr. Rogers is on. I mean,
And you all know, this is patron saint, quote unquote, of the channel is Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers.
Yes.
Bless
yes.
him. Bless his soul.
Yes, but all of that, all of those children's programming of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and it doesn't matter, Bernadette, when you when exactly you're born. If you loved any of those shows back in the day, this is pretty cool for you. So
yeah.
Oh goodness. All right. Dave, you never liked Bob Ross? That's okay. I don't have to understand it, but you could skip. You can skip that one. To each their own. Okay, cool. So 4610. Charlene would like to know, I'm worried about the Florida case now that it's not going to happen. It's postponed indefinitely. I will never understand how Trump can get away with all these things. Truly scary. Yeah. So,
and number 8 isn't actually a number 8. Sorry, that was put in there. I put in that in there by mistake. Michelle added, the Florida documents trial has been delayed, not canceled. Don't lose faith. Jack Smith intended for this trial to take place after the D.C. election interference trial.
Okay.
Has anybody heard about when that is supposed to start?
I think that that has to wait on the immunity.
Of course it does.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the top secret documents case.
Yeah. Yes. Google Piece, Schoolhouse Rock included. Yes, all that stuff.
Conjunction, junction, what's that function? Okay, sorry.
Words and phrases and function. Okay. Florida.
Yeah. All right. She's this is a card. The 5 of Swords card is the adding insult to injury card. It's like I in my head, I think of it as being akin to the 7 of Swords, a thief card. And this is, oh yeah, he's got your stuff now. It's just the normally for this card, he's got your stuff and he's going to rub your face in it. He's going to rub your nose in it. This is death by 1,000 cuts. That's what this feels like. See all the scissors? A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit somewhere else, a little bit, little bit. And there's a 10 of Swords here, which is not great in this situation. In the center, I've got Strength, which made me a little worried because the last thing we need is Cannon to be in a position of strength. Because there are experts still saying that, well, if she's giving the excuse that she needs more time to look at the evidence, then it's hard to get the appeals court to do anything about that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. The worst kind of correct is technically correct. Because, yeah.
Yes, I agree. But I've got an Ace of Swords here. That's a sword of truth, and that's a new start. That's a new action. Swords are new beginnings. So does this mean that she starts stringing everybody along again? Or is this something happens? So underhanded. Cards right off the bottom of the deck. For now, she's winning. She is one of the abs. She is so completely biased, it's not even funny. Judgment, magician, devil. Only fast one. She's in a position to judge or not. There's corruption. This is all major arcana. I just keep getting very frustrating cards with her, and it makes me sad. Because I don't know what to do about it. Because I don't know that there's anything we can. Because normally, if there's, I read on political stuff. We read on political stuff. And, call your representative. What have you. But this.
We have one more question in this section, a follow-up at 51. Go ahead.
I'm just going to pull 3 more.
Okay.
I live in hope. Don't get your hopes up. She doesn't have a good argument, but she's grasping hold of what little she has to grasp hold of. She's going to just sit there, la, 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 la. We are disappointed, and then I've got a thief card as she just sits there. She's just sitting there. That's all I'm picking up right now. All right. Sorry.
No, you're good. Mimi has a question real quick in chat. Can anyone tell me why some readers ring bells and others don't? I assume to clear the energy. I'm nervous to ask if this is a dumb question. No, honey, no, not a dumb question. Not a dumb question at all, sweetheart. But it's because I'm assuming I'm not a reader. I'm here for the commentary. I'm comic relief.
So, my lovely assistant.
Yes.
My beautiful assistant right here.
Yes. Yes. So, but is it to clear energy? Okay. Alrighty.
And bless Lady G. Apparently she's back in the hospital. Oh, I hope she's okay.
That is no bueno.
Okay. Well, so we're gonna go with Rachel P's question.
Mm-hmm. 53 even.
And then RFK Jr.
Yeah. So, now that Maga Judge Cannon postponed the date of the trial indefinitely, is Trump going to evade all charges everywhere? Well, that's scarily fatalistic, but I can see why somebody would ask that because it would seem such. So, yeah.
But I've said this many, many times, and I think it's worth repeating. With Trump, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Mm-hmm. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Yeah. Today, we got 2 steps back. Mm-hmm. But we also are on our day of rest between days of Trump his first criminal trial.
Yes.
So, yeah. All right. So, does he get away with it all? Well, Knight of Wands. People still fighting for him. People still learning to vote for him. So that's me why. The Thief card, legally. Oh, sweetheart. You having a nightmare? Queen of Swords. So this is a thief card, but this is also women holding Trump I mean, legally, they've been doing some damage to Trump. In the center, his corruption is there for everyone to see. 8 of Cups. Been gathering evidence and organizing evidence and bringing people in. They bring evidence in, they leave. Someone else comes in, they bring evidence in, they leave. Somebody else and just on and on and on. Yes, Anne, we'll probably, I might have to wait till tomorrow to read on that, but yeah. But then I've got a 10 of Cups, and that's a happy family. This happy family, that's not the Trumps at all. That's our happy families. So while it does seem like he gets away with everything, no, not necessarily.
Okay.
Let me see what else I can get on this. Women holding him accountable. Oh, and and more women being disgusted by him. I mean, he's always been gross. Seriously, if you don't know him by now. But 5 of Pentacles, out in the cold. This is usually the people outside in the snow. Just not good. Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune turns, and it has turned for him. He's not on top anymore. That's why I always say, if you're lucky enough to ever get to the top of the Wheel of Fortune, be very, very nice to everyone while you're there, because that wheel will keep turning. 3 of Swords, Knight of Cups, Mr. Romantic. Legal pain, Mr. Romantic, howling at the moon. So this could be the money he's going to owe through Letitia James. It could be the money for E. Jean Carroll. It could be this case. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get this in there because so many of you were rightfully wondering about it at 57:45. Oh, RFK Jr. So, this man, unprompted, unsolicited. It's not like a medical report was released and then he had to make a statement. He just decided he was going to throw it on out there. And he's like, yep, I went and had somebody look at my brain and there was a spot in it. And it turned out that the spot is where a worm got in there and then died.
8
part of his brain and then died.
So good news, it's not cancer.
Yes, but why do people just... There are some things I would never tell anybody. I mean, why are you just throwing it? I mean, like, I could see if there was... Sorry, I realize I'm getting indignant because I can hear my accent coming out. I've got to roll it back a second.
No,
I don't understand if, there was some sort of report, because I know candidates, they have to show that they're physically fit or whatever.
I could see he's refusing. He hasn't shown his financials yet.
Of course he hadn't.
No.
Of course. I'm a candidate. I ain't got it. Whatever, dude. My man, he can't. The whole thing with, he's been on this kick. He's been on a lot of kicks. I could understand on one hand the whole thing about I need Secret Service. If you look past the entitlement, he has to have some unresolved trauma, considering that his father was murdered as a presidential candidate. I get it. I do. on a very big hand, because that's got to be kind of so. But the entitlement, homie, I don't care that you grew up on Hyannisport. I don't care that you get whiskey money, or not. No, not scotch, not whiskey. I don't care. I don't care. Do the Kennedys still get that? Because for literally decades, every bottle of scotch that was sold in the United States, Joe finagled it where they got a cut of every sale.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. And so, just because your granddaddy was who he was, and he got your daddy and his uncles where they went, you're not. Dude, no. Sorry, I'm on a tangent. I'll stop.
No, you're not on a tangent. This is exactly what we're talking about. And
But the worm ate the common sense part of his brain.
The question I pulled cards on is his political career over? Is he done?
Yeah.
You would think if anything was going to be make him donezo.
Yeah. It'd be Sammy the Worm. Mr. Oscar the Grouch. That's what it is.
Right,
Raymond,
so
I stand corrected. Go ahead, sorry.
What's wrong?
Oh, Raymond said that it was not Scotch, it was Irish whiskey. I stand corrected. So, but still, yeah.
So you told everyone this. Okay. Well, is his political career over? 5 cards. We're starting with the Hanged Man. Suspension, the card of suspension. Queen of Swords, which is voters, especially women, but voters not necessarily happy. 8 of Swords, hemmed in, legislatively or legally or electionally. I'm making up a word.
I'm down with it.
World card, the last major arcana. End of the book, end of the chapter. Your life will never be the same. The sun. It's all come out. So I would say, okay, the 2 minor arcana here are no thank you and hemmed in. You don't, not a good way to grow, to make the tent bigger. Suspension, end of, and it's all out in the open, glaringly.
Man.
Now, unfortunately, part of what's hurting him, which is not good, is something like this will stick because of his voice. That's not fair. But that's what I'm getting. So he's done.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. And let me pull this 3 more cards. Oh, by the way, you will soon need a real ID in order to board planes, even domestic flights in the U.S. Just letting you know. Not everybody is aware. Just letting you know. Now, I don't think it's fair that people would equate this with his voice and think badly of him. But no, there are legitimate reasons to think badly of him. So, yeah. He's all right. Now,
do we have time?
Yes, we do.
She's like, we gonna make time.
We're gonna make time.
Okay, I meant to have visuals. I don't have visuals. I've got a timeline over here where I can see it, but I don't have actual visuals. So, because you were talking about worm, now I've got that other as an earworm in my head. Okay.
Okay,
Buckle up.
anybody who's okay, because we've got some gossipy stuff of what's going on
Mm-hmm.
and mess that's going on
It's messy.
culture wise. All right.
Yes.
So if you're only here for the political stuff, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be back here tomorrow.
Royal family related.
No,
Just throwing that out
no.
there.
No, this is the SmackDown, epic SmackDown going on between Kendrick Lamar
And Drake.
and Drake, who is so done. Oh, Becca's. I'm sharing my PB and J sandwich with Braxy, and she's happy. The puppy.
Yay!
Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, and Roxana Lee has gotten out the popcorn. So Sarah has been on top of this, and oh my gosh, I showed you guys the picture, the cover. I can share with you. Let me grab it. The cover that Kendrick Lamar posted on one of the.
That was the. Is that the? If it's the house one, that was from Not Like Us. It's from Saturday. Okay. While you're pulling that up, let me give some background. Mm-hmm. Most of you may be familiar with Drake. Kendrick Lamar, you really have to be a fan of rap or hip hop to necessarily know who he is. Or a fan of Obama, because Obama 8 years ago did an interview where they asked him if there was ever going to be a rap battle between these two, who would win? And Obama said, Kendrick Lamar. The man knows what he's talking about.
Which is just hysterical, because it was just a complete hypothetical.
Yes.
And he's just like, no question.
Yes. So Kendrick Lamar is a West Coast rapper who is from Compton. He's actually a Pulitzer Prize winning author. He's teachers are loving this because Kendrick is really good at adding layers and layers and layers and layers of depth in his lyrics, where you have to listen to things 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times to really comprehend everything he's fully saying. It's not just a surface shot. And with all of this that's gone on in the last few weeks, like there are middle schoolers and high schoolers that are like having eloquent discussions and looking up words and definitions, and there are teachers that are just like, this is the coolest thing ever. Drake is from Canada. He was a child actor. I say child, like teen actor. He also, one of his earliest songs were Started from the Bottom, Now We're Here. I don't know how you, being a child actor and growing up in upper middle class affluent suburbs, is equivalent to starting from the bottom. But things like that are why people who don't like Drake, because he tries to pull from different things that he can't really identify with, but he's going to claim it if he can make money off of it. So, yes, this is Drake's mansion. In Canada, from what I understand, there is an app where if someone is a registered sex offender, you can pull their location, or like you can pull up to see if there's any sex offenders around you, supposedly, from what I understand. And this is what it would look like if you pulled up Drake's mansion. That's what Kendrick Lamar was saying. Kendrick
would or does?
Does. Yeah. So, yes, Roxana Degrassi. Yes. So Drake has beef with everybody, and everybody has beef with Drake, but Drake started making it very personal. He started calling out people's families, and Kendrick was like, let's not do this. Like, we're going to go from being playful to I'm going to stomp you. And Drake went off and did a thing on last Friday. He called out Kendrick's family. 30 minutes later, make sure I've got my timeline up. Yes. So 30 minutes later, Kendrick responded with just the worst. I say worst. I have heard, I grew up and like the Tupac versus Biggie stuff, you know, back in the day, and Eminem and all. So rappers coming at each other is not new to me, but that man, don't call an ambulance, call a coroner. Kendrick laid him out. There was nothing left.
And wasn't it the one where it was you want to strike a chord, but it's always A minor?
No, that was the one that came out the next morning.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Sorry. You're good. You're good. So Friday evening, Drake released a song. Actually, let me back up. Kendrick released a song Friday morning. Drake released a song Friday evening. Kendrick replied back 30 minutes later with another song that was horrific. And then through one Saturday morning, that's more of a traditional rap battle type, like it's bouncy, you know, but I'm still coming at you. But the one Friday night was personal. Like it's called Meet the Grahams. Drake's real name is Aubrey Graham. It addresses Drake's son, Drake's parents, a supposedly alleged illegitimate daughter that Drake has not claimed, other alleged children that supposedly Drake has not claimed, allegations that Drake is, for entertainment only YouTube, hanging out with
the people in the picture.
The people in the picture. And Drake himself has a history of talking to young girls. There were stories years ago of when Millie Bobby Brown, 11 and Stranger Things, was 13. He was 30 and texting her. Now, he says it was all innocent, that they were just besties. And I'm like, what's a 30-year-old man in Canada texting a girl from England for? There's no... So Kendrick just slaughtered him lyrically Friday night. Saturday morning he dropped a one, and that's you're trying to find the key, and it's probably A minor. That was and then there has been since then, and all of this, there's other people that were originally in the beef. There was a gentleman named Metro who makes beats and whatnot. And Metro told Drake, you need to stop. Like, Kendrick is going to, you can't win this. And Drake told him that, well, you need to shut up and just go back to making some beats. Metro said, okay. So, part of this.
Can I tell the comment about him?
Huh?
That I read?
What? Go ahead.
Because this guy, this side guy, right?
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah.
He backed out. He was like,
"Oh no, that's J. Cole." Yeah.
Oh, J. Cole. I'm so sorry. I'm messing
good.
Up your story.
You're good.
But he was caught up in this battle, and then he was just like, you know what? I'm out. I'm just, I am out. And he has fallen off to the side, and nobody's messing with him now. It's just Drake and Kendrick Lamar. They're just going after each other. And there was a comment I read where somebody was talking about J. Cole and said, J. Cole must feel like those people on 9/11 who missed their flight. And I know that's gallows humor, but
yeah. Kendrick went. He went out for him,
but he didn't go after. But supposedly not based on nothing, because it wasn't Drake close to Diddy.
Yeah, Drake. Yeah, Drake insinuates himself anywhere where he can get clout. Historically, it's always been that way. It's pretty bad. So Metro's like, okay, you want me to make beats? Sure. He made this. One of the things that Drake has been accused of is lying about surgeries that he's had and taking Ozempic and this, that, and the other. And if you look at pictures, Drake either somehow within like a 3-week period did 50 million squats, or he's gotten a BBL. We don't know. He says he's never had surgery. He didn't do a BBL. Something happened because he went from to bloop like that. So, Metro said, okay, if all I need to do is make beats, I got you. So he made this really catchy earworm beat and dropped it this week on social media and said, all of you rappers out there, anybody who wants to drop verses on this, upload it, tag me, use this hashtag, and the best one gets to keep the beats for free. Like you own it. And the hook in the beat is like this chorus of Black women singing, BBL Drizzy, because Drizzy's like Drake's. Yeah. So
it's like isn't it? I thought it was like a couple name, like between Drake and Diddy.
No, Drizzy, because he likes to, that's been his one of his nicknames for a while. So, right, Terry, he might have. So, the BBL Drizzy thing has had me slayed, because now you've got literally hundreds and thousands of other up and coming rappers who are dropping Drake diss tracks all over the internet because they want this beat. But the BBL Drizzy thing has picked up, and other Kendrick songs have picked up on this, to the point to where they have been sampled on TikTok. Like the Duolingo bird is popping it like it's hot to the BBL Drizzy.
Yes.
My God. The Empire State Building did a diss track to the Sears Tower and other buildings using a line from one of the Kendrick songs. There's a nun on TikTok who's just sort of just rolling around the BBL Drizzy. It's not going away, and it's getting worse. It's permeating everything. And yes, Kendrick Lamar, that's right, CC Ryder. Kendrick Lamar writes about racial injustice and social issues. That's why Obama likes him. Exactly. Like, his stuff has substance. And if he's coming for you, he has receipts. In fact, the cover for the track that he dropped Friday night involved literal receipts. And a box of a prescription box of Ozempic with Drake's name on it, and a bunch of other stuff. Like, so
yes. I like your thinking. BB's and Kitsy.
BB's and Kitsy. Yes. We'll make it work. So, but with all of this, there was a shooting outside of Drake's house yesterday. So his head of security was shot at. So
is he okay?
I don't know. He's taking to the thing, but how bad is it got to be where people are shooting up folks in Toronto? Like, aren't there like gun laws in Canada that are way more stricter than ours? So I don't know, but so if you needed that's a rough timeline of everything. It is most amusing. If you
well, the I'm so sorry.
No,
the one of the details that stuck out with me, because I've heard the latest tracks. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard the earlier stuff.
Right.
And after Kendrick Lamar came out with his track, or one of his tracks, was calling out Drake for all of these alleged things, all these heinous, awful things.
Mm-hmm.
Drake responded with
Friday night. Yeah.
It was horrible. In the middle of it, Drake said, I understand this now. I don't want to fight you, because in your music, you were talking about how you were, let's say, abused as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And if he had just left it there are at least his, 1.5 people would have given him the benefit of the doubt. If he had said, you were abused, I see where this is coming from, I don't want to fight you. And if he had just left it, but he didn't. That's in the middle of the song. Yeah. So he thinks that Kendrick Lamar was abused. He's doing this sarcastic reference to it, and then just continues to try to drag. And it's like, Oh, how much of a scumbag do you have to be? Now, it turns out he wasn't right.
No. And in that same song, he also said that he couldn't possibly be a pedophile because he's so
Could we be
famous.
careful with the wording?
Sorry. He couldn't possibly be that type of abuser because he's so famous, he'd be arrested. And I'm like, that's not really how this works, dude. That's not, he's too famous for that because they'd arrest him if he were. I'm like, no, that's not how.
How long did it take for R. Kelly to get arrested? How long did it take for?
Yeah. The whole situation is jacked up, but it turns out that it wasn't. Kendrick had done an album a few years ago where he had talked about abuse that his mother had actually sustained and how that had flavored how she raised her children, and that she was super protective and vigilant and stuff over her kids because she wanted to protect her kids because she wasn't protected. And the whole point of the album, it's on the Mr. Morale, is about, people who grew up in bad situations and that there's hope. Whatever life has thrown at you, you can overcome this. Like, this is, it doesn't matter if you're coming from poverty or abuse or whatever. You can get out of here, and there's love for you out in this world. And this is the kind of message that Kendrick is known for throwing out there. And then Drake's like Hotline Bling. I mean, I don't know, like that's the kind of stuff Drake was putting out. So,
and apparently Drake has been known to tell a fib or two.
Yes, everything.
And so he's now making accusations at Kendrick Lamar. Let's just say there are 99% fewer receipts on than what Kendrick Lamar has on Drake. But I could be wrong. So I was wondering what's going to happen here. The first thing I got is, in one respect, everybody wins in the sense of this. As long as they're, if it turns out the beef that Drake's head of security, that whole thing with the pew pew, all that. Now, if that has nothing to do with this, assuming that doesn't actually have anything to do with this, because we don't know if it's actually related. Okay. This is how arguments should be had. Creatively. Pen is mightier than the sword. This is what we want. There are many, many reasons I set up, and Sarah and I run the Creative Sprints channel. It is because I believe in creativity, and I believe, and it is a wonderful way. I don't know how I would have gotten through some of the things that happened to me in my life if I didn't have creative outlets. It is immensely helpful. And these two, even if they're making accusations, even if they're whatever, there's a certain amount of, there is a win factor here, which is good. Beyond that, there's some ugliness being unveiled here. Entertainment only YouTube. I don't know whose ugliness. I'm not saying I'm certain of anything. I'm not. But there's some ugliness being uncovered here. And right here, this feels like Kendrick Lamar. This feels like Drake. And this is decisions like picking up your pen and there's a turkey and she's going to carve it, and she can do it blindfolded, and he's just dancing around unbalanced. That's what I'm getting as far as talent levels. Sorry, that's just what I'm getting.
Yeah, I mean, Drake has always been more commercially popular, but when it comes to lyrical, Kendrick just
also feels like Kendrick's heart is in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
He believes what he's saying about pages.
Yeah.
And he's willing to join other people in standing up there to take a good look at the secrets and whatnot. For Drake, again, I've got this and 2 of Pentacles in the middle. Someone needs to tell. This is going to sound horrible, but someone needs to tell Kendrick Lamar he's. It's not nice to have a battle of wits with an unarmed man.
Not at all.
I'm just saying, and this sounds horrible of me to say these things, but that's just what I'm picking up. And sleepless nights. And he's gonna in this deck, the strength card is they're Brillo pads. They are steel wool. And this doesn't feel like a strength as in good. This feels like a strength as in like steel wool to your skin. It's not good. Now, the real question comes down to, are police going to get involved in these allegations? Will our victims going to come forward? Is this going to turn into proper legal stuff?
Just reminding you of the time, dear.
Yeah, we're good. You told me what time the cover is, so we're good to go. I can find it. CN says he's from the UK.
No, he's from. I think. Well, there's different conversation that's going on.
Okay,
people are talking about Harry Styles or whatever. Harry Styles is from the UK. Drake is from Canada.
Harry Styles entered the chat. Where were you talking about Harry Styles?
Oh, no, somebody was talking about Harry Styles and Lana Del Rey. Also, but entering this beef though, you've also got J-pop, Japan pop. They're going after Drake now.
J-rap.
J-rap. Sorry,
specifically going after Drake.
Yes. Yeah.
And and Taylor Swift, the whole Swiftie thing.
Taylor is sort of hanging out, is sort of sitting back on this one so far. Kendrick did a feature on a song of hers a while back, and Drake called out and was talking smack about Taylor for talking smack about Kendrick for being on one of Taylor's songs. But it's funny that those 2 songs that he released Friday night and Saturday morning were produced by Taylor's co-writer. So,
So Taylor adjacent, Swiftie adjacent is getting involved, which is one of the reasons why this story just keeps building and building. There will be a financial cost. There has been a lot of entertainment only. Only. There's been a lot of cover up. But then again, we've seen that in all kinds of different cases. There's been a lot covered up out there in the entertainment world. Illusions, corruption. Those days, we're moving on. And this is the people who've done this garbage being on the defensive finally. In general. And the moon. Yeah. See, here's the thing. I know there's some people who say, I know that X was a bad person, and X can be anybody. Just saying. I know X was a bad person, but they made such good work on this, or this. So I just have to separate the person from the art. I'm going to argue with you on that. And you don't have to agree with me, but I'm just going to argue with you on that and say, no, there are only so many hours in the day. There's only so much bandwidth that human beings have. And there are so many good people who make good art that you just haven't seen. And these bad people have soaked up a lot of attention, the attention that could have gone to good people. So I don't care, because there are certain movies, certain songs, certain, you name it, that to this day, what once I might have been like, okay, great. Now I'm just like, I can't get rid of the disgusted ick factor. And what your energy, that's one thing. And I'll leave it at this, but that's the one thing, I've talked about, the greatest, the greatest thing that I was taught in doing readings and stuff like that. Kirsten Langston, bless you, lady. The talented, beautiful Kirsten Langston at Third Eye Champagne, who she was like, oh, I'm going to read on this politician, and okay, I'm going into his energy and da, 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 da. And I was just sitting at home, and I was just like, you can do that? You can just, I didn't think we were allowed to just go into their energy, other people's energy like that. I didn't think you were allowed to do that. And she's like, it's a politician. We're giving them power. We need to know what's going on. And I'm just like, I didn't know we were allowed to do that. And let me tell you, the number of times I have asked people to do readings on somebody I was maybe interested in a little bit, or was thinking about doing some work with, or wanting to do a project with, that I went to readers, and I do pay readers to read for me. And I said, what about this? And they helped me dodge a bullet, not literally, but metaphorically. That is like, oh, no, you do not want to get involved with him at all. And it turns out they were right. This person, it's not going to turn out the way you think it will. It's really, I just wouldn't.
Danger, Will Robinson. Yes.
Yeah. It turns out they were right. Not necessarily that was a bad person. That was a bad person, but this just, it wouldn't work out to try that project with that person, or what have you. Your energy, people can pick up on it. And that's one of the things that makes this whole New Age movement so powerful, which is you can't hide your energy anymore. You can't pretend that you are just this little island with this facade and nothing can ever penetrate it. Not now, not in this century and beyond. So, yeah. All right. So, all right, so that's going to do it for us for this week with Miss Sarah. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Everything's better with Miss Sarah. And other than that, I will be back here tomorrow. I am literally here every single day of the year. And tomorrow, Stormy Daniels is back on the stand tomorrow. And then after her, there are other people and other witnesses. And Trump was so upset the other day he came out. He was like, I just found out they're going to go on for another 2 or 3 weeks. I thought they were done.
You idiots. Yes.
He was bigly mad. It was wonderful.
So mad. So mad.
Yes. All right. Well, take care. All right. And thank you for being here. You're not alone. We do this together. Yes. And there are good days. There are good days ahead.
Fabulous ones. Yes.
Take care. All right. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.